Hello everyone. We will deliver the news that became a hot topic on July 5, 2023. Conservatives go to red states. Democrats to blue as the country grows more polarized. Associated Press. Once he and his wife Jennifer moved to a Boise suburb last year. Tim Cole could finally express himself. We were scared to put it up, Jennifer Cole acknowledged. Leah Dean is on the opposite end of the political spectrum. But she knows how the Coles feel. Below are your comments. This is America. We are allowed to agree to disagree. But when the rhetoric from either side's fringe element rears its head, we also have a right to call them out or ignore them. I've lived in California for 68 years. If conservatives are afraid to fly their flags, it isn't obvious from where I stand. I drive past houses every day where one house flies the blue thin line next door to someone flying a rainbow flag. We have Trumpers living side by side with hardline Dems. I would say I'm left of center politically and reasonably progressive, but I do have issues with those on the extreme left. However, my biggest issue is with those on the right who feel that they should be allowed to dictate how other people live their lives when it comes to things that have no FA. I live in the fourth largest state in the lower 48. Just about every rural area is red, and the cities are blue. Many on the right display Trump and F. Brandon flags. Virtually no one on the left display any political signs or flags at all. This makes those on the right wonder how they can lose. This is not how democracy is supposed to work. Respect for others' views, with tolerance while feeling free to express opposing views in every state is the standard. We are the United States, not the divided states. Isn't one civil war enough in our history? Shame on us. Next news. 69-year-old woman dies following alligator attack during her dog walk. ABC News. A 69-year-old woman has died following an alligator attack in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, authorities said Tuesday. While rescue efforts were being made, an alligator appeared and was guarding the woman, interrupting emergency efforts, according to the sheriff's office. Below are your comments. Stop walking at the water's edge. Stay at least 25 feet from the shoreline. Alligators are very fast out of the water initially, but slow down considerably after a few yards. Distance is paramount. Alligators are apex predators in ponds and small area s of water where they are found. Being aware of their presence should be the first rule of safety for all who live in area s they're likely to inhabit. The fact that another person was attacked and bleep in similar conditions should be reason. God bless and comfort the lady's family. But people here in Hilton Head and the surrounding area need to realize that alligators lived here long before human beings. So humans need to remain aware of their presence, stay vigilant, and not put themselves in harm's way. I don't get it. If you live in areas where gators are present, then you know that it is an easy equation. Stay away from ponds, lakes and such because that is where they live. And walking your dog near a water's edge only means that you are both on the menu. I don't know why when this happens, people keep walking in their feeding area with their pets. The alligator is just looking for something to eat. Next news. A man who tried to warn a North Carolina amusement park about a huge crack in the ride's support beam said staff were nonchalant and had no urgency to fix it. Insider. It could have come unhinged and just went like a steamroller through the parking lot, Jeremy Wagner, who saw the crack, told the Washington Post. Below are your comments. The association added that the chance of being seriously injured on a fixed site ride at a U.S. amusement park is 1 in 15.5 million rides taken. And if you or your children are on that one ride in 15.5 m, all the statistics in the world don't matter. The article is incomplete. It neglects to mention that this guy called the fire department and they are the ones who shut it down. Glad he caught it. Not sure who he talked to, but most park employees wouldn't have any more power, if not less power, than the customer to make a complaint. Most of these PPL are barely adults. The American Eagle at Six Flags Great America just outside Chicago is a wooden framed roller coaster built in 1981. Same year I was born. I know how my joints and muscles feel after years of physical labor. No way I'm trusting that coaster anymore. Next news. Cocaine found in West Wing of White House while President Biden was away. What we know. USA Today. Secret Service agents were doing routine rounds on Sunday when they found the white powder in a working area of the West Wing. Below are your comments. And over $191 trillion in unfunded liability debt. The party continues. If this had happened during the Trump administration, it would have been 24-hour coverage for 2 weeks minimum. 51 intelligence officials confirm that it was a Russian operation and President Trump was involved in the plot. Willie claims he smoked pot on the White House roof. Next news. Smallville actor released from prison for role in sex trafficking case tied to cult-like group. Associated Press. The television actor Allison Mack, who pleaded guilty for her role in a sex trafficking case tied to the cult-like group NXIVM, has been released from a California prison. According to a government website, Mack, best known for her role as a young Superman's close friend on Smallville, was sentenced to 3 years behind bars in 2021 after pleading guilty 2 years earlier to charges that she manipulated women into becoming sex slaves for NXIVM leader Keith Raniere. Below are your comments. My ex-fiancé got me into Smallville. We first moved in together on her birthday and I got her the first 3 seasons as a gift and she made me watch it. Was her favorite show in the world and I got hooked too and I loved Allison Mack. It's a shame she walked down this path, but she should have gotten 20. If it was a man, he'd be in prison for at least 20 more years for the same crimes. If she wasn't rich and famous, how long would she have gotten? Now go write a book or 2. Go on Oprah. Start a Netflix series. She'll have 20 million by December. For everyone who thinks she should have gotten more time. She was also a victim who was brainwashed by the cult leader. Yes, she helped him get new members, but she also under his manipulations. So I do wish her nothing but the best in healing and getting on with her life. You don't have to agree with. Next news. New report reveals that China is reaching a tipping point that could affect the entire world. Here's what's happening. The cool down. Though it had not previously seemed like China was on track to meet those goals. The country's newly invigorated push now leaves the outcome more up in the air. Below are your comments. Not a big fan of China, but high-speed trains, large investments in solar and wind and other major infrastructure projects. China is busy building China for China. Meantime, in the good old USA we bicker among ourselves. Don't do any major infrastructure projects and continue to slide backwards. Here's a novel idea. The US quits relying on a communist country for its goods and gets back to manufacturing what we consume, which creates jobs and stability for our own nation. Chinese government said it would reach tipping point in 2030 and reach zero emission in 2060. It will ban all gas-powered automobiles by 2035. That is why they are number 1 EV car market in the world. Their government is pretty efficient. They have 5-year plan, 10-year plan, even 50-year plan. Why will no one talk about population control as a way to conserve our resources? It doesn't matter if we move to clean energy if there is not enough clean water and enough food for everyone. Next news. 100-year-old eyesore looms over Fort Worth neighborhood. Residents have had enough. Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I'm all for history. But some stuff is not worth preserving. That is not worth preserving. That needs to come down. Quote. Below are your comments. The city should take the property by eminent domain and tear it down. If owner shows up, pay him eminent domain price minus the cost of deconstruction of the silos. So many commercial endeavors end up being the public's problem to demolish, detoxify, or fill in after a company has pocketed its profits and moved on. A restoration bond should be required of every new commercial structure that is unique and unlikely to be sold or reused. If the company cleans they didn't say anything about property taxes. If you don't pay property taxes, your property gets sold at auction by the county. In my county in Texas, there are properties sold at auction on the courthouse steps all the time. Political subdivisions love to acquire property through default on property taxes. There wasn't one word about whether property taxes were paid or in default. One can only surmise that the taxes have been paid, so no one has a right to seize or do anything with the property. Liens also don't conference. Here is an idea. Based on the article, it is fair to say that whoever the owner is has abandoned the property. The city should take ownership through eminent domain proceedings, then pay to have the silos demolished. Once the land is cleared, sell it to a developer for commercial or residential D. Next news. Nurse having affair with patient failed to call 999 when he died with his trousers down. The Telegraph. An NHS nurse who took part in a sexual relationship with a patient failed to call an ambulance when he died in the back of his car with his trousers down during a secret late-night rendezvous. A disciplinary committee has heard. Below are your comments. My cousin Vinny worked in a large hospital and caught more than one nurse in bed, comforting a patient. One nationally famous hospital has a problem with its doctors, nurses and med techs in the restrooms, which are camera-free. I applaud her excellent bedside manner and approach to holistic medical care, which seems to focus on taking care of the patient physically and sexually. This woman should be Nurse of the Year. An experienced nurse practitioner presenting the ultimate in patient care. It took a team of surgeons 3 days to get the smile off his face, and another 4 days to be able to shut the coffin lid. She should be commended. She goes above and beyond to satisfy the patient. That was his last request. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.